Those of you who, like me, stood strong and refused to get the COVID jab, and some of you paid a high price for it, lost your job, got kicked out of school, you're going to feel really good about your decision when you hear this. And you may have already heard a little bit about it because it's circulating the internet like crazy. An undercover reporter working for James O'Keefe recorded a conversation with Joshua Rise, lead regulatory scientist at Johnson & Johnson, about the company's COVID vaccine. The disclosures were kind of horrifying. Here's what he said, quote, "Do you have any idea the lack of research that was done on these products," referring to the vaccines? "You shouldn't be surprised that this happened. It was pretty much the government made a deal with pharmaceutical companies and kind of pressured the pharmaceutical companies because we're not going to say no to the government." Gosh, you just got to love a company that won't say no to the government, right? The government is like, yo, these three big ass companies, we need help. We need to figure this out. You're solving this problem. When asked about Joe Biden's assurances that the vaccines were safe and effective, he replied, quote, "None of that stuff was safe and effective. People wanted it. We gave it to them." And then he says, "We didn't do the typical tests, the typical process. That's why it takes so long to get a product on market. The typical process is all this clinical trial testing and stuff in a small population. This was just, let's test it on some lab rat models, analyze, see if it works and stuff like that, and just throw it to the wind and see what happens." He's finished by saying, "I'm sure somebody is going to get sued for that stuff eventually." Well, we're some of the people suing for that stuff eventually. And I mean, this is just horrifying. It's not surprising if you said no to the vaccine, your instincts told you that this was a terrible idea. And by the way, the whole reason why an EUA product, emergency use authorization product, is voluntary, they can't make you do it, is because it is by its very nature a rushed product brought to market, and there's going to be some risk associated with it, so people should be able to choose. And if you chose and you got beat the heck out of you for choosing, you know that you did the right thing. Pass this on to other people. One of the great ways you can spread the word is to pass these videos on to friends, and we sure appreciate it when you do that. And thank you so much for watching.